Hey James, nice job on these sketches. They're really easy to see, and I can see you really have some drawing skills. So, yeah, really nice job. So yeah, the computer one is always really fun to do. So, my favorite is this one so far, just because it just takes on a different form and it doesn't have, the upright kind of humanoid form. This one's really cool too, though. It's just not as interesting as this one, but again, I think that using some different angles could really make this interesting. I really like the bottom part. I'm just thinking of, maybe some different kind of a head or something like that. So I'm wondering where the pencils come in. Yeah, just let me know about the pencils. You kind of want to keep it, really consistent in terms of the objects. So you definitely want to use like all computer objects, just because you don't want it, you don't want to have a concept. You want clarity with the concept. This one's interesting too, though. It's just a little bit complicated. It's a little bit hard to see some of the objects and how they, how they're unified and come across as a caricature. So, I mean, it's interesting, and you could really push this idea too, though. You might want to just spend a little bit of time thinking of the size relationships. And this one I like a lot too, though this one has just a feeling of a robot, which you may or may not want, but and again, I would just change some of the objects because some of these things are really cool. That's what I'm saying. This one just seems to have the most unity, and just, it's just really clever and really cool. And I think that you would have really a lot of fun working with this one too. So anyway, yeah, I mean, I know I like all of them, so I'm not much help, but that one I do is kind of my favorite, but again, it's your choice. So next week we're going to be photographing objects, so I just wanted to show you a few examples of student work, and mostly to just point out, to really look for angles because you're going to be either photographing these or, finding them in different places, like at libraries or whatever. But notice how we're seeing two sides of this amp, and same thing with the guitar. It's not that head-on look, and what that allows for is it makes it look like it has more depth, and it just tends to be more interesting. And here's another one. It's nice because it's kind of suggestive of a head, but obviously it's not a head. And the side view really works to create motion. These are all finals, by the way. So, and again, here's a computer one with, kind of blocky, but she did a really good job with the background. And then, using perspective smaller in the back, but then Photoshop does that great. So just keep some of these things in mind when you're getting your images, for next week. Here's a computer one. And he got way more than 5, and, it just really came out really nice. Interesting kind of head shape. Here's this food guy, and again, doesn't have to resemble a human. That's why I kind of like that one that looks like an insect or some kind of crawly thing. Here's another computer one too. Nice angle, kind of looking up, but again, notice the use of perspective and the angles of views. And again, think of the lighting as well too. We're doing all the text and background way later in the class, but so yeah, yours look great. So yeah, no real big suggestions on the sketches, so they came out really good. Just with the pencils, you might want a little bit of clarity, or even just, you could think of removing them. It actually kind of looks cool without them. Okay, so yeah, nice job.